Hey guys, and welcome back to, I wanted to say Britney and Baby, but Britney Morrow, and I feel so weird saying welcome back to Britney Morrow. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally filming my Q&A talking all about the new girls. I have gotten so many questions over the last 3 months. I am officially 3 months post-op. Actually, I just had my 3-month post-op appointment and it went really well. There's only one concern that I'll talk about a little bit later in this video or in this Q&A, but I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to ask me any question that you guys had about my surgery. Now, I do have a highlight on my Instagram. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, definitely go follow me, Britney Morrow _. I have a highlight of kind of like my recovery process and answering a lot of questions there, but you guys still have a lot of really good questions. So I wanted to sit down, get cozy with you guys. I got my blanket, I got some coffee. I'm drinking my go-to drink if I am not in the mood for coffee, which is rare. I was in the mood for coffee this morning. I already had my liquid greens and coffee this morning, so I just settled with a iced chai. Actually, that's really good if you do get like a shot of espresso, and if you get a dirty iced chai, so good. All right, so I think I asked this about a week and a half ago. I know it's taken me a while. All right, so first question, and it's actually a really common question that I'm seeing a lot and that I've gotten asked before, and that's, have you had any weird symptoms happen since getting them, autoimmune, etc.? And a lot of people bring up BII, which is breast implant illness. A lot of people bring that up. I've shared details about periola dermatitis that I've had on my face, and a lot of people have said that it's associated with breast, I'm just gonna say BII, which is basically where your body like starts to reject your implant and you start to have a lot of autoimmune issues and a lot of different things happen. It can, I honestly think that it's a real thing. I do. I think it's just one of those things that can happen, and a lot of people are talking more about it. Now, I did bring this up to my doctor and I talked to him about it, and this is what he said directly. This is not me like dismissing anybody that's ever gone through the surgery or gotten their implants taken out, but this is just what he told me. He said that only one woman has came to him about BII and got her implants taken out, and she said that all the symptoms that she was having before went away. So he did say that that has happened once, and there's also not enough research yet to fully support the correlation between the two. Now, personally, for me, I have had no side effects, I should say, so far with having the implants. And maybe I should backtrack in case you're watching this for the first time. Just a little backstory. 3 months ago, I got a breast lift and an augmentation. So that means I got the lift to lift my boobs up before, from being pregnant, breastfeeding, having 5 kids, and being very self-conscious about my breasts. I wanted the lift, but then I decided to get the implants. I got silicone to kind of fill them out, just to kind of give them volume a little bit. I didn't want anything too big. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I haven't personally had any weird symptoms at all. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, because I do think it happens. Just like with anything, I think there's always side effects to anything that you get done. Like, for example, after getting my tubes removed, I've also got that done the end, was it November? Yeah, end of November. I got both of my fallopian tubes taken out, completely removed, not tied, nothing. They're gone. And I have had some side effects from that surgery. I have had really irregular periods. And when I mean irregular periods, I'm talking every 2 weeks since getting that surgery. And the crazy thing is, I still don't regret getting the surgery, because I definitely don't want to have any more kids. But it's been definitely hard dealing with that side effect. But with my breast implants and the surgery, I have had no side effects so far. One time I had a heat rash from being outside exercising. A lot of people thought that that heat rash was from my implants. Come to find out, it was just from chafing with my sports bra, from working out. I was doing a lot of stuff outside running, and that's caused the heat rash, and was able to get it under control with a little gold bond. This is such a long explanation, but so far I have had no side effects. The next thing I wanted to talk about was implant size. So originally I wanted to be a full C, low D, small D, I should say. So originally we were gonna do that, and then I started to get really nervous about that size, because before I was like a full B, low C. Like, I had fairly, I shouldn't say tiny boobs. I didn't have tiny boobs, but they were on the smaller side compared to like double D's or DEs and things like that. So they were just very saggy. They were just very low. So they were small, but I had a lot of extra skin, like a lot. Like I could fit stuff under my boobs. Like that's how much they were sagging. So that was my size before. I wanted something, the main goal for getting the surgery was to lift my boobs. That's what was important to me. And then I just wanted the implants to kind of fill them out for volume. I wasn't wanting anything too big. So I was second guessing myself thinking, oh, that's going to be too big. Then I told them I wanted a like full B, low C, and then I was second guessing that. I'm thinking that's gonna be too small. So I originally just went with my gut. Go with your gut instinct. Obviously talk to your doctor as well, because I also, you know, I have a smaller frame as well, so we didn't want to go too big. You have to get the right size for your body and for like whatever, you know, you're working with. Like for me, I had all that extra skin, so they had to take a lot of skin off, so they couldn't put anything big in there anyways, because I didn't have much skin left after they took a lot of that extra skin off, if that makes sense. So what I ended up going with was a 375cc or 375cc. I actually just got a bra. It has no wires in it. I don't wear wired bras anymore. It's not recommended after getting the surgery, but it is a 36D, so it fits me perfectly. So I'm definitely at a full D cup now, and honestly I'm really happy that I went with this size. I feel like it fits my body frame really well, and I don't feel like they're too big. I don't feel like they're too small. I am so happy, so happy with the size. So if you're thinking about getting implants, silicone, saline, gummies, whatever you decide to get, obviously do your research. Definitely do the research about the implant that you're getting, all the side effects that could happen, everything that's involved, and then of course talk with your doctor on what kind of size they recommend as well. So this is another really good question. Do they feel real? I actually got to feel what a silicone implant feels like and then what a saline implant feels like. Silicone, if you could imagine, it's like a water balloon. That's the best way I can explain it. There's also such thing as gummies. My doctor doesn't do gummies in his office, only silicone and saline. The silicone feels kind of gummy, squishy as well, if that makes sense. So when I touch my boobs, it's kind of weird doing this on camera. You guys have seen me give birth, so we're on a personal level at this point. But they feel super natural to me. And it's hard to say what feels natural, because for the longest time, my boobs, like my natural before getting surgery, didn't feel natural or real. They just felt like flat and like little sad socks. That's the best way I can explain it. So I don't know. I've asked Frank to squeeze my boobs. I've asked people to feel my boobs, and everybody has said that they feel real. So again, I don't know what it'd be like if I had saline or gummies. I think gummies are more like textured, like they feel more natural. I don't know. Now I'm like feeling it. I'm like, I can kind of feel the implant a little bit. Now they don't feel real. I would say it's 50-50. And to kind of go with that question, do they feel natural or foreign to your body? So at first they felt really foreign. It felt like there was like if you could put like water balloons in your bra, that's how it felt, like that extra weight and pressure. I feel like now my body's gotten used to it. I've gotten used to the feeling of having implants. But at first, yes, 100% felt so weird. I remember right after getting the surgery, just felt a lot heavier, and I also got the implant under my muscle as well, so I wanted to mention that as well. You can get it over or under your pecs. I decided to go under just because I wanted it to be look a little bit more natural, and it does take a little bit longer to heal. It is more painful and it takes longer to heal going under your muscle, but since I'm going through all of that, my personal opinion and choice was just to go ahead and go under the muscle. If I'm already putting myself through this in pain and recovery, I'll just take the extra little time to recover and go ahead and get them under my muscle. My thought process was, I'm gonna get it under the muscle. They're gonna look a little bit more natural, and also my muscle will be able to hold the implant as well. How painful? So I feel like talking about pain is such like a personal thing, because everybody's pain tolerance is different. You know, some people can handle a lot of pain. Some people cannot hardly handle any pain. For me, I have a very high pain tolerant. Now, I don't like to be in pain, of course, but I do have a high pain tolerance. You know, I do have tattoos. I've had children before, so I know at that pain level what that's like. Of course, I did have 4 epidurals, but I did have 1 natural birth as well. Totally different ballgame there. But for me, I generally have a higher pain tolerance. And actually, my tubal ligation or tubal removal surgery was more painful than my breast surgery. This took longer to heal, I would say, but that was definitely more painful. Now, I don't want to say that it wasn't painful, because it definitely was painful. It was hard to lift I couldn't lift up my arms above my head for the first, was it 1 week or 2 weeks? It might have been 2 weeks. So definitely suggest getting a lot of button-down shirts that you can just put on, or wearing robes. Definitely suggest doing that, because it is super painful to lift up your arms. And of course, taking the bandages off. I almost passed out, but that's because I just can't do blood, like my own blood or stitches, things like that. So that was definitely, that was really hard for me. But overall, the pain, it wasn't as bad. For some reason, when I got my tubes removed, that pain was so painful. It's crazy, because it was only 3 little, you know, 3 little cuts and stitches. I did sleep a lot, I should say that. So I did sleep, I did rest a lot, and I will say, to speed up your recovery, definitely take that time to rest, because if you don't, then you can end up prolonging your recovery. And I actually did several things to help with my recovery. That's all on my Instagram if you guys want to go check that out. I forget what the highlight's called now. It's breast surgery, or it might be like 2 little cantaloupe emojis. I can't remember. I think it is the little cantaloupe emoji. So go to that highlight. I talk a lot about what I did for recovery, and I'm telling you guys, if you do everything that I suggested, and of course talking with your doctor as well, your recovery will go 10 times smoother. And I think that's what really helped me after having my surgery, was doing those little things to help with it. This is a good question. Is it more uncomfortable when you're sleeping? So at first it was, because you have to sleep on your back, and I am such a side and stomach sleeper that it is so hard for me to sleep on my back. So I think the first several weeks I had to sleep on my back. I think it was the first 2-3 weeks. That was really hard. I did get like this pillow that I ended up not liking at all, but I just ended up propping up a whole bunch of pillows behind me, and that seemed to really help. Now, because I've always heard that once you get this surgery, you can't sleep on your stomach. That's actually a myth. Maybe for a lot of people you can't, but I'm still able to sleep on my stomach. Maybe because I didn't get really big implants, I can't really tell as much. The best way I can explain it is, yes, I can feel that there's something there, but it's not uncomfortable, if that makes sense. I'm still able to be on my stomach comfortably. Even when I go to the chiropractor and I have to lay on my stomach, and you know, he's pushing on my back and cracking, it doesn't feel uncomfortable. Or if I'm working out and I have to lay on my stomach, that doesn't feel uncomfortable either. I will say the only thing that's uncomfortable for me now to do is a push-up. I can't do I couldn't do a push-up before anyways. I didn't like doing push-ups before, but I tried to do one a few weeks ago, or about a month ago, and it felt like everything was gonna rip open. I know that's really graphic, but I'm being open and real and honest with you guys. It literally felt like they were going to break open and just fall out. That's not really a big deal to me anyways, because I don't really do push-ups. I didn't really do them before. I don't really have any plans to. It was more so, let me see if I can do this since I've been working out kind of thing. Other than that, I am still able to do other workouts. I'm able to do arm workouts, some chest stuff. I'm still letting my body fully recover. So some people have said it takes up to a year fully for everything to fully recover and be able to do chest stuff or push-ups. So maybe I'll reevaluate that later. I will say that it was 2 months post-op, so maybe not the brightest idea to do. But I can do any other workout. I can do planks just fine. So other than that, I haven't really found anything else that I can't do since having the surgery. This is another good question. Are you happier with your nipple location? I love a lift, but worried they will end up too high. So I made sure when I was researching for a plastic surgeon, I was going to one that was reputable, had really good customer reviews, but customer testimonies, I should say, not reviews, but was a really good doctor. And I am so thankful for him, because he has been doing breast augmentations and breast surgeries and plastic surgeries for a really long time. Really good doctor, 5 stars. He is amazing and also has like the best bedside manners, very caring. He's amazing, and everybody in the staff is amazing as well. So I first want to put out there, definitely research your plastic surgeon. I'm not gonna lie, I looked at before and afters like crazy at so many different places, looked at his before and afters with breast augmentations and lifts, and I just loved his work. That's crazy to say because I was looking at other, but I'm like a visual person, you know, so I need to see what it's gonna look like, and I loved his work. I loved all the other surgeries that he did, so I was confident. And also, it's also important to tell your doctor exactly what you want. Like, you need to tell them, like, I don't want my nipples too high, or I want my nipples like this, or I want them smaller, because I also got that done. I think that's part of the lift. I don't know. But I told him I want smaller areolas because after having kids, they got bigger and bigger and bigger. So he was able to do that as well. So I think it's very important to be clear on what you want and make sure you tell them that you don't want really high nipples. You don't want them really, really high. So to give you guys a visual though, before mine were down here, pointed down, and now they're straight out. So they're not too high. I like the way that they look. And you also have to remember too, kind of like your eyebrows, they're not gonna be identical twins. They're more like sisters. So they're gonna look similar, but they're not gonna be exactly alike too. Boobs are meant to be asymmetrical as well. So you're not gonna be able to have like the perfect boobs. I mean, maybe somebody out there does. Heck, there probably are people that have like the most perfect boobs, but seeing that I did have kids and I did have a surgery, you know, I knew that they weren't going to be perfect, but I am very, very happy with how they turned out. This is probably one of the top questions up there, pricing. So I'm gonna look up, because like I told you guys, I got an augmentation and the lift, so I want to see what the average price, because I want to compare. See, so the average price of a breast lift is $4,600. Actually, according to 2020 statistics, it's about $5,000. So for my lift alone, I have my pricing sheet right here. Oh wait, that's with the implants. Hold up. Okay, so I stand corrected. So to do the lift, the breast lift, and to insert the implants, so the surgery alone, not the price of the implants, because you have to pay for the surgery for the implants in the implants separately. So to do both, that was $5,600. Which I feel like is a good price, because the lift alone, like the average cost is around $5,000. So included with that was operating room. So all the stuff that I needed for the operating room, the hospital room, operating fees, everything, and anesthesia. So that was all included as well. And then I had to pay for the implants. So if you're looking for silicone implants, I don't know what that, let me see what the average are. So the average cost for implants, so this is an average for the surgery, ranges from $5,000 to $10,000. That's crazy. So people pay up $10,000 just for an implant surgery, or augmentation, I should say. I feel like I got a good deal for what I paid for then. So everything included. So to insert the implants, to lift my breast, to pay for the silicone, the anesthesia, the operating room, everything was $10K. So I feel like that's a good price for everything, that everything is included with that. I did have to pay a deposit that was non-refundable, and that actually went towards the surgery as well. So like I said, I wanted to be completely transparent with you guys. I'm actually shocked that some surgeries cost up to $10,000 just for implants. So to get the lift, the implants, everything, that's how much I paid and how much I had to save for, because I knew 4 years ago that I know that is a lot of money. $10,000 is a lot of money, but I feel like what I paid is what you're gonna pay if that's what you want. This is a huge surgery and a lot of money, so I definitely wanted to make sure that what I was paying for and what I was getting, I was gonna be happy with. Another good question is, how long will you have your implants? Will you get them again when your warranty goes up? So if you guys didn't know, implants have a warranty, 10 to 15 years, and actually you get like a little serial card number with the serial number that is on your implants. God forbid if anything happens to you, they can match it up. Someone also told me that they were able to identify somebody's body because of their implants and their serial number, which is so crazy, but kind of cool at the same time. And I also wanted to reiterate the 10 to 15 years warranty. Please make sure that after 10 years you go and get them out or get new ones. That's when I think it's called the capsulation can happen. It can happen when you have your implants for way too long. It can happen sooner than that. That's possible. It can happen sooner, but also if you have them in for way too long, and that is not good. So I've decided that after 10 years, I am going to get them out and probably not get them back in. I think I just want to enjoy them. Once I'm closer to my 40s, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get them out and just keep my lift, and I will be good with that. I could change my mind, but I think that's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now. So I'm gonna answer a couple more questions because I don't want this video to be super long, but a lot of you guys are asking about scars and will the scars fully go away. So because I got the lift, I got what's called a anchor scar, or like a lollipop scar, which is around the areola, and then down, that's kind of where they tighten the skin, or where they've cut the extra skin. I'm like trying to give you guys a visual right now. I don't know if it's working, but the extra skin, and then that's where they put it together, and then underneath, that's where they put the implant in. I have around, again, the areola, down the middle, and then underneath. Now that it is 3 months post-op, they have faded a lot. I would say the anchor scar has faded the most. The one underneath is still taking its little time to fade, which I should say it can take up to a year for them to fully heal or fully fade. So definitely be diligent with your scar cream, your silicone scar cream, or they have like scar strips on Amazon as well, or even just pure vitamin E oil. Be very diligent about that. I am still doing that even 3 months post-op. That can help so much with your scars, and like of course staying out of the sun and tanning and things like that. But I knew going into it that I was gonna have all of those scars, which I was okay with, because again, I just wanted the lift and just the volume. I didn't care so much about the scars, because the only person that's gonna be seeing the scars anyways is me and Frank. But the scars don't really bother me, especially since they have faded so much now. But this is what I was going to talk about, and this is what I was talking about earlier in the beginning of the video, when I went to my 3 month post-op. Actually, it was my 6 week post-op, or 8 weeks. I can't remember. It was the one before the last, if that makes sense. My doctor knows there was still a few sections on the scar where they were raised, and all the rest, you know, they had gone down, and he suggested doing a steroid shot and helping that go down for my next appointment, and to still keep up with my scar cream. So then the appointment that I just went to, my 3 months post-op, it was still raised like that. So I went ahead and got the steroid shot, and since then it has started to go down a little bit. And he says to still continue on with my scar cream. So that's why I want to say be very diligent about that, and making sure to massage your scars. I guess it just prevents it from like being really raised, and it helps with the scar a lot. So definitely want to recommend that, because that is really important. Oh, another good question. Do you have feeling in your nipples? Losing feeling is my biggest fear. So this is another good question. You guys have really good questions. Right away after the surgery, I shouldn't say right away, I want to say maybe a few weeks, I got sensation on my right side, and I had none on the left side. But the crazy thing that I had no idea about is you're gonna feel like lightning tingles in your boobs. Feels so weird. It can be somewhat uncomfortable and a little bit painful, but that's just your nerve endings kind of like shooting out and trying to reconnect. And that's a good thing, because then also it means that it's trying to reconnect and feeling come back. So I was actually nervous because on my left side, I was not getting feeling back. Like it was 2 months post-op, wasn't feeling anything. This one was fine. And it was actually a little bit more sensitive than it was before. So that was interesting, but I started getting nervous, and then just one day it started having feeling again. But I have heard of it taking a long time. I've talked to other people before about it, and it was like, you know, 9 months post-op, and they're still trying to get feeling back, or 1 year. So you also have to think about that, because you could also end up losing some feeling or all of the feeling as well. So thankfully, I do have feeling on this side now, but that's something also to think about. Oh, and also I want to say, because a lot of people are asking about the lift option, so you can get a lift without implants. I want to say that, because a lot of people are like, I want to get a lift but no implants. Yes, 100%. You can 100% get a lift and don't have to get implants. The implants are totally optional, and of course, it's going to be less expensive too. So a lot of the questions overall are you happy about your implants? So I think that's where I'm gonna leave the video and just kind of explain how I feel now. Do I regret getting my implants, and just overall where I am mentally now. So I'll say this, since getting them done up until this point, I have not regretted getting them done. I've been very happy and content with how they have settled, because it does take some time for them to fluff out. That's like the best way. That's what I've heard them call, is fluff out, like settle in. Because at first they're gonna look a little weird, they're gonna look a little boxy, they're gonna be up high, they're gonna look a little abnormal. You gotta give it time to settle and to fluff out and to look more natural. I had to remind myself that, because there were times where I'm like, oh, it's month 2 now. One's still a little bit higher than the other, which is normal. My doctor said that sometimes one can start to drop faster than the other, or fluff out faster than the other. So that happened to me. So now they both dropped and fluffed out, and they're both where they should be. So I'm very happy about that. And they've also given me a confidence that I didn't have before. I used to be so self-conscious about my boobs after having kids, and you know, I had lost a lot of weight too after having Fletcher, so they sagged even more. So I had so many body image issues, and you guys know me, I have no shame in talking about plastic surgery or anything that you do cosmetic to your face, to your body, anything, because whatever makes you happy, and as long as you are doing it for you and nobody else, and you're doing it for good reasons, then go ahead and do it. I am like a full supporter of that. So they have definitely given me this new confidence, and I feel like I'm able to wear things that I would have never felt comfortable in before, or I would just be way too paranoid, or had to wear a certain bra with. It's more of a freeing feeling to not feel so uncomfortable and be able to just have confidence that I didn't before. But I'm always a strong believer too that if you can find that confidence on your own first before getting anything altered, definitely try that too. I've done that with so many other things, or so many other parts of my body that I have just accepted, you know, as is. All my stretch marks, my extra skin, I have just accepted, embraced, and loved that to its fullest. But I knew that getting my boobs done was something I was definitely going to do, and something I decided years ago and that I was so set on. So now after getting them done and they have fully healed, I love them. I love them, love them, love them so much. I know that's weird to say about boobies, but it was one of my biggest insecurities that I have dealt with for many years. So being able to love them now, it feels good. It does. And I don't think there should be any shame in getting work done and loving yourself more. As long as you're doing it for the right reasons, that's my only stipulation, then I think you should be able to do whatever makes you happy. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this Q&A. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that I answered a lot of your questions. If you still have some questions, leave those down below and I will try to get back to your questions. I want to do maybe a tubal removal Q&A. I think I've already done one before, or I might have done one on my Instagram, but if you guys are interested in hearing more about that surgery, also let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.